Thank you again for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the words of wisdom, sir. Thank you very much for your best wishes. Once again, a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Honorable Dr. Suresh Kattaji. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, now MIT Art, Design and Technology University, Pune proudly confers Bharat Ratna Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award for Science and Technology on Padmashri, Dr. Ganpati Yadavji, the President of India Chemical Society, Delhi, and former Vice Chancellor of Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. And before we confer the award, I would like to request our technical team to relay the AV of Padmashri Dr. Ganpati Yadavji. Can we have the AV, please?
One of India's most distinguished, prolific and successful engineers is Professor Ganpati D. Yadav. The Science and Engineering Research Board of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, has now chosen him as the National Science Chair, which is a highly esteemed national honor. He has received the J.C. Bose National Fellowship from DST since 2010 and is an emeritus professor of eminence. He holds adjunct professorships at RMIT University in Melbourne, Australia, the University of Saskatchewan in Canada, and University of Newcastle in Australia. For his remarkable achievements in science and engineering, the President of India awarded him the Padmashri, the fourth largest civilian honor in 2016. He holds the honorary doctorates of English and Science. In his role as Vice Chancellor, he set numerous records. On February 9, 2022, he received the prestigious election to the US National Academy of Engineering, which is a rare honor. In the November 2020 and 2021 surveys of Stanford University, where Indian scientists in the top 2% of those in the world are honored. Professor Yadav is ranked 66th for both years and is number 1 in India in physical chemistry. He is the author of the ICT University song. On YouTube, there are more than 65 video recordings of him discussing his biography in both English and Marathi, as well as speeches, seminars, panel discussions, interviews, etc. We are indeed honored to have Professor Ganpati D. Yadav with us today.
I now request Dr. Ashok Ghuge to read the citation to Padmashri Dr. G.D. Yadavji.
Thank you. Respected Padmashri, Honorable Dr. Ganpati Yadavji, we are presenting this award for the first time to an iconic personality like you for your exemplary contribution to the field of science and technology. Sir, you are one of the notable, topmost, highly prolific and accomplished engineering scientists in India, and recently selected as the National Science Chair by the Science and Engineering Research Board of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, which is very prestigious national honor. You are an acclaimed leading chemical engineer with vast research knowledge, including supervision of 107 doctoral, 47 postdoctoral, and 135 master theses, which is the first record in ICT and for any engineering professor in India. Sir, you have won more than 125 national and international honors, awards, fellowships, editorships, and several lifetime achievement awards by prestigious industrial organizations. You are an elected fellow of the Indian National Science Academy, Indian Academy of Sciences, National Academy of Sciences, India, Indian National Academy of Engineering, as well as the World Academy of Sciences. You were the chairman of the Research Council of CSIR, CSM, CRI, and a member of RC of IICT Hyderabad and NIIST Trivandrum. You have also served as the chairman, member of the selection committee of directors of many CSIR labs. It is with a humble mark of respect towards your remarkable life journey and your contribution to our great nation, we take this honor to present Bharat Ratna Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award for Science and Technology at the 5th Convocation Ceremony of MIT Art, Design and Technology University, Pune, India. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Guge. I request Honorable Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir and dignitaries on the dais to honor with citation and confer Bharat Ratna Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award for Science and Technology on Padmashri Dr. GD Yadav ji. Ladies and gentlemen, he is being honored with a shawl, a bouquet, a citation, photo frame and silver murti of Saraswati Devi, medal and a check of rupees 2.5 lakh rupees. A huge round of applause. Thank you very much. I now humbly request Honorable Guest of Honor, Padmashri Dr. GD Yadav ji to address the gathering.
Namaskar. The chief guest of today's convocation, Honorable Dr. Somnath, Chairman ISRO, the founder of this great institution, Honorable Dr. Vishwanath Karad, the Executive President and Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad, members of the Board of Management, Academic Council, deans of various faculties, eminent personalities, teachers, graduating students and their parents, members of media, members of support staff, ladies and gentlemen. My greetings to you on this momentous occasion. I am overwhelmed by the kind of adulation which I have received here. I have one thing in common with Dr. Vishwanath Karad, that is, I also come from a family of Warkaris. My mother was a Warkari, my grandmother was a Warkari, and half of our family is Warkari. So I have the tradition in my home. I am delighted to be part of this joyous and solemn occasion. I had an occasion of addressing the graduating class of the then MIT, which was then affiliated to the University of Pune, now Savitribai Phule, Pune University. I never realized that I will be privileged to receive the first Dr. Bharat Ratna Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award. I bow before you. I must also compliment Dr. Katta for getting this honorary doctorate. He is an icon for our country. Dr. Katta, congratulations. I never realized that I'll be privileged to address you again in your new avatar, that is MIT ADT. How fantastically designed this concept is and the kind of laboratories and facilities you have created. I have not seen that kind of thing even in a foreign university. let alone the IITs and NITs which are funded by the central government. So compliments to you and your vision. I revere the great saint poet Jnaneshwar Maharaj, whose Pasaidan I know by heart. It was the prayer of my high school, the private high school in Kolhapur. So let me begin with his thoughts and elaborate on the world peace, which is the motto and vow of your founder, Dr. Vishwanath Karat. And what Jnaneshwar said, आज जरी ऐश सुख आणि समृद्धी माझ्या पायाशी लोळण घेत असली तरी उद्या किंवा कधीही नष्ट होऊ शकते याची सतत मला जाणीव आहे. म्हणून मी अहंकाराला दूर ठेवले पाहिजे. Loosely translated, I should not be swayed by the success or failure or the awkward work towards the welfare of society at large. Character is very important than winning awards and medals. And that is what you have been doing. I always advise my students about my success mantra. They ask me all the time, and I say it is 3P: patience, perseverance, and pardon. I need not tell you what is patience and perseverance, but one thing I'm going to tell you that nothing is impossible. One must desire and attempt, like what is said in Bhagavad Gita, karmaneva adhikarase ma phaleshu kadachan. One must do one's duties and not accept the fruits. Fruits will automatically come. Failure is temporary and success is autocatalytic. And the third most important thing is pardon. It is the greatest virtue one must have, pardoning people around you at home and in the workplace for their mistakes, however grave or unpardonable they may be. The person who tried to harm you will have restless nights because they will think as to why you pardon them despite their committing the grave mistake. That is the power of pardon. What we say, Kshama Virasya Bhujanam. Pardon is the greatest virtue. Nobody is perfect, even the gods. That virtue makes one accommodative, understanding, and accessible, turning a blind eye as the adage goes. Dear graduating class, as the future leaders of business and industry and academia, this poses enormous global potential and serious problems. A few years ago, several popular options such as cloud computing, social media, and big data analytics hardly existed, and that is what you are learning in this university. We need to understand that this information boom has outpaced our intellectual capacity. Your university has trained you in big data, AI, ML, cloud computing as the tools to be used across the disciplines. Mind is not a vessel to be filled with useless stuff, but an oyster to generate ideas. Since we are talking of the mind and matter, let me be closer to reality. The recent events across the globe demonstrate that we have too many technological and societal problems as regards energy as materials. Nobody ever imagined 3 years ago that we will go through the greatest scare ever we will face due to the coronavirus and the global economic slowdown. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine made us think on our energy policy and the value of self-reliance, Atmanirbharta, and your university is teaching that. The Paris Agreement of 2015 has committed to the net carbon zero by 2050 and to restrict the global temperature rise during this century to less than 2 degrees C and preferably 1.5 degrees Celsius by reducing the greenhouse gases. In January 2020, the CO2 concentration was 410 ppm. A year later, it was 412 ppm despite the fact there was a slowdown. And now it is 421 ppm. That means we are emitting dangerous levels of carbon dioxide. Forget not, there was a negative crude oil price on April 10, 2020. The oil industry was worried and experts cautioned that unless the crude oil price shoots more than $60 per barrel, the industry will not be viable. Strangely, this year, there was a huge surge in oil price touching $130 per barrel. As a fallout of the Russia-Ukraine war, it sent chillers across the world. like India, like many in the EU, suffered. The CO2 emissions stood at 35 gigatons since 2020. And unless we bring it down to less than 10 gigatons, it will not be possible to achieve less than 1.5 degree rise. It means we need carbon negative technology, not just carbon neutral technologies. The West was advising us to abandon coal power plants and also not to have nuclear energy. Some NGO with vested interest in India oppose on both the counts, citing Germany's example. The irony is that the same Germany has restarted the coal power plants and reopened atomic energy plants. Therefore, public must be educated to teach the powers of green energy, waste minimization, and India's interests. India has started the Global Solar Alliance. We are talking about something like 450 gigawatt of solar power with $500 billion investment. Today's world is of a trinity: change, challenge, and opportunity. In our culture, we talk of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. My scientific trinity is the solar energy, Surya Devata, wind energy, Marut or Vayu Devata, and hydrogen energy, which is coming from water, Jala Devata. In this, green hydrogen will be the savior of the world since it is the energy carrier. It will give us fuels, chemicals, and materials from waste biomass. 14 valuable platform chemicals can be produced using green hydrogen and the waste. And there is no crude oil. Lignin can be catalytically converted in severely costly chemicals using hydrogen and oxygen. The farmers need not burn their agri-waste and cause pollution, but convert it into an asset. In COP 26, India, and now it is COP 27, India has committed to achieve the net goal zero by 2070. My belief is that we will achieve it much before. Then 539 million metric tons of green hydrogen will be required. What is required is to promote carbon negative energy supply to attain the net zero goal, and India can achieve it. So hydrogen is going to be the savior of the world. In the realms of renewable energy, 73% of renewables, solar, wind, geothermal, hydro, nuclear, and hydrogen. In that, 25% will be blue hydrogen and green hydrogen. The green hydrogen and green ammonia policy declared by the Power Ministry on 17 February 22 has envisioned that by the 50% of India's energy needs will be met by 2030 by green sources, renewable sources. So as regards carbon-based chemicals and materials, carbon dioxide will be the new oil. We can convert carbon dioxide into methanol, dimethyl ether, formic acid, and whatnot. So that is important. Since I've been honored, I want to tell you something. I have developed a technology which is called Institute of Chemical Technology, ONGC Energy Center Technology, which is based on thermochemical copper chlorine cycle. We can produce hydrogen in less than $1. The whole world is talking that they can produce it within 1 decade. I am claiming since 2015, I can do it in less than $1, provided we have 100 tons per day. And that is why the government of India is supporting us. I'm very happy to tell that currently the clean hydrogen cost is in the range anywhere between 2.5 to 6.8 kg. So I can produce hydrogen in less than $1. And what is important, what is said in United States, the hydrogen energy Earthsat goal of reducing cost of green hydrogen by 80% to $1 per kg in 1 decade. So you can, that is called 111. So we can do this. Another interesting part is carbon dioxide can be converted into dimethyl ether, which is a substitute for LPG and diesel. So we can convert carbon dioxide into valuable fuels. Although bioethanol and other biomass-derived chemicals can be used to make blue hydrogen, it should not be burnt as a fuel. That is what I have been saying. Carbon should never be used as a source of energy, but it should be used for making chemicals or materials, because we will not have any crude oil by 2050. That is what is going to happen. India has also committed to EV, the electric vehicles, by 2030. For that to happen, electricity should be generated from renewable sources and not from coal-fired power plants. Otherwise, it will be a fossil EV. The battery storage will be a great area. So we don't have lithium, sodium, vanadium, zinc, and manganese. So EV batteries are useless after they reach 80% capacity and they have a second life. So that is the place where we can have a lot of startup companies to use it. Chemical engineering will flourish in recycle engineering. So there is a tremendous scope for Indian chemical industry in green hydrogen and green ammonia, which is the government of India policy. We should develop technology for waste solar panels, waste turbines, waste plastic, batteries and construction and debris devices. Otherwise, we'll require 3 years and we don't have that time. The ban on single-use plastic, so-called SCPU, needs to be revisited. Green hydrogen can be used to tackle any plastic waste. And India aims to produce 300 tons of steel by 2030. 1 ton of steel produces 2.3 tons of carbon dioxide. Therefore, we can convert that into green steel by using green hydrogen. So my advice to the faculty members of the MIT ADT is again 3P. That is patent, publish and prosper. You must patent your idea, then publish in the international journals and make money. And as for the future leaders of business, industry and academia, this will pose enormous global potential and serious problem. Since you are in the city of Pune with a university named after the great social reformer and educationist Savitribai Phule, my personal belief, which I have been talking about for the last 2 decades, is that the government of India should make girls' education free till PhD. It does not mean all girls will become PhDs, but what it will do, it will provide them an avenue to study higher education. Their parents will not stop them from higher education. Their marriageable age will increase. They will find their own life partners. Educated mothers will have small families, and that will control the population. And finally, India will rule the world in 2 generations if girls are taught free. That is my personal belief. And finally, as some prophecy before I conclude, India will be a leading exporter of green energy by 2030. Believe me, we will do it. Import bill will be reduced. Green hydrogen will be less than $1. It will be India's century. India will be the 3rd largest economy with $30 trillion in 30 years. It is not unthinkable. And if the net zero goal is achieved, the world will be peaceful, and that is the motto Dr. Karad has been always talking about. The 17 UN SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, will be hopefully met. So for that to happen, I quote from Rigved, Ano Bhadra Krutuvo Yantu Vishwata. Let noble thought come to us from all directions. Sarve Sukuna Santu, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Mam Kashit Dukkam Apnaya. And I will quote Swami Vivekananda. I saw a very nice picture of Swami Vivekananda and Dr. Karad there. What Swami Vivekananda said, Utthishtata Jagruta Prapya Varanya Bodhata. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. So that is what you should be doing. I wish all the graduates of MIT ADT University of the very best and immense success. Namaskar, Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable presence. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a standing ovation to Padmashri, Dr. G.D. Yadav ji, Bharat Ratna Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Awardee for Science and Technology. Thank you very much, sir. And now, we take this honor to felicitate today's Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Somnath S., Chairman of ISRO, Bangalore, and Secretary at the Department of Space, New Delhi. I request our technical team to relay the AV of Honorable Chief Guest, Dr.